everyone, how are you doing? I hope everybody is fine. In our last video lecture, we have discussed about what is a word processor and what are the various elements of word processor, isn't it? Now today we are moving further and we are going to start our next chapter, chapter 5, editing a document. So first of all, we will discuss what is editing and what is the need of editing. So let's begin our class. Editing means making corrections to it and manipulating it in such a manner that would lead to a desired result. This process includes deleting, copying, moving, finding and replacing a particular text in a document. So what is editing? Editing means making corrections to the document. Suppose you have typed a document and later you may want to edit it, you may want to make some corrections over it, you may want to delete some text, you may want to copy the text from somewhere else. Okay, so for that purpose you will edit the document. So basically edit means making the corrections, making the changes in the document. And how you will edit? You will delete, you will copy the text, you will move the text, you will find some text and replace it with another text. So all these things come under the editing. I hope you all have understood what is editing and how editing is done. Now next is undo and redo. The undo command is used to cancel the last action performed. To perform undo action, click on the undo button in the quick access toolbar or press Ctrl plus Z. This is the shortcut key to perform undo action, Ctrl plus Z. The redo function reverses the action performed by the undo command. Okay, it is just the reverse of undo. Whatever undo button has done, whatever the undo command has done, it just reverses the action. To perform redo operation, click on the redo button on the quick access toolbar or press Ctrl plus Y, the shortcut key to perform redo, Ctrl plus Y. Okay, now let's understand the process of undo and redo with the help of this Word document. This is the Word document in front of you, and suppose I want to make some changes over it. So how I will use the undo and redo command? So let's see. Suppose I want to delete this inverted comma. Look at the inverted comma. I delete it with the help of this backspace key. Okay, now the inverted comma has been deleted. This is the quick access toolbar. Now this arrow on the left side is undo button. So I click over here, undo. You can see the inverted comma has been appeared again. Okay, so what is the function of undo button? It reverses the last action performed. The last action performed was the deletion of this inverted comma, and suppose you have deleted it by mistake. So you can reverse the action with the help of this undo button, and the redo button is used to reverse the action of undo button. Now undo button has made this inverted comma appeared again. So if I click on this redo button, now see the inverted comma has been disappeared. Okay, so both are reverse of each other. The inverted comma first made disappear with the help of undo button, and it made appear again with the help of redo button. I hope you all have understood. This topic is selecting text. To perform some action, we need to select the text. The selected text will appear as highlighted bar. Okay, many times you want to select the text to copy or move or to change the color of the font or to increase the size of the font, isn't it? For all these things you need to select the text, and the selected text will appear as the highlighted bar. Now there are various ways to select the text. To select a word, double click on the word. Okay, it is very simple. If you have to select a word, you need to double click over the word, and to select a sentence, you need to hold down the control key and you can click anywhere in the sentence. How you will click the sentence? You will press the control key and you will click anywhere in the sentence. Okay, how to select a sentence? I will again tell you. First you will hold down the control key and you will select anywhere in the sentence. Then you will see your whole sentence will be selected. Now how to select a paragraph? You need to triple click over the paragraph. Okay, what you have to do? You have to triple click anywhere in the paragraph. Large block of text. How you will select a large block of text? You need to click at the beginning of the text, then you need to press the shift key, and without releasing the shift key you need to click at the end of the text. So I am repeating it again. How you will select a large block of the text? First you will click at the beginning of the text, then you need to press the shift key. Without releasing the shift key, again you will click at the end of the block of the text. You will notice that your whole block of the text will be selected. Now next is entire document. How you will select the entire document? You will press the Ctrl plus A. The shortcut key to select the entire document is Ctrl plus A. Consecutive text. Bring the mouse pointer to the desired location and hold down the shift key and click at the end of the required text. What is the meaning of this? Consecutive text, the text which are all together. Bring the mouse pointer to the desired location from where you want to select your text and hold down the shift key, and then you may click at the end of the required text or the document. Okay, so it is same as the large block of text. Non-consecutive text, which are not all together, which are not adjacent. So how you will click the non-consecutive text? You bring the mouse pointer to the desired location. First you need to bring the mouse pointer to the desired location. Hold down the control key and drag mouse to select the text. So how to do this? First you will bring the mouse pointer to the desired location. Then you will hold down the control key and then you will drag your mouse to select the text. Then select some other text using drag option while holding the control key. You need not release the control key. All those selection you will done while holding the control key. All the selection method are clear to you children, and you have to do the practice of these. Now next is find and replace. I know you all have done find and replace in your previous class. So let's begin. Microsoft Word has the feature of finding a word and replacing it with new word. Okay, how to find a word and then you may want to replace the word with the new word. Okay, now let's understand find and replace option. Now here it is a Word document in front of you. So how you will do the find option? Okay, first you will click on the home tab. Then there is editing group. What I told you, first you have to click on this home tab, then you will click on this editing group. Okay, after clicking on the editing group, a drop down menu will appear and there is find, replace, select. Find, replace and select. So you will click on find. You can see on the left pane. Okay, so suppose I have selected London. I want to find the word London. You can see the results are highlighted. all the London words have been highlighted. This is the way to find a particular text in your document. I repeat it one more time. First you need to go to Home tab. Then you will click on the editing group, and from the editing group you will find the Find button. After clicking on the Find button, you will type the required text. Whatever you want to find in your document, you will type it here in this bar, and you will see all those words matching your criteria were selected. They have been highlighted. Is that clear? Now next option is replace. How you will select the particular word and replace it with the new text. Okay. Again go to Home button, Home tab, then go to editing group again, and you have seen also there is a replace button. Replace option is also there. Now a dialog box is in front of you. So replace, find, replace and go to. Now find what? Suppose London word has to be replaced by, suppose, America. Okay, I want London word to be replaced by America. Now there is an option replace, replace all, find next and cancel. I want all the London words, all the London words in my document to be replaced by the new word America. So I will select replace all. Now there is a confirmation, all done. We made 2 replacements. That means there were 2 London words were there. So after doing the corrections, a dialog box, a confirmation is in front of you. Okay? You will click on OK to make it disappear. I hope find and replace option are clear to you, children. Now next move to our next topic. Now children, our next is keyboard shortcut. These shortcuts are very useful, very commonly used. Often we use these shortcuts. Okay, so what are these shortcuts? First, beginning of the line. Suppose you may want to reach at the beginning of the line. You can press directly the home key. In your keyboard there is a home key. So you will press the home key to reach at the beginning of the line. Next is end of the line. If you want to reach at the end of the line, you will press the end key at your keyboard. There is an end key in your keyboard. So you will press the end key to reach at the end of the line. Third is top of the document. How you will reach at the top of the document? You will press Ctrl plus Home. Ctrl plus Home will take you to the top of the document. Last is end of the document. If you want to reach at the end of the document, you can press Ctrl plus End key. Okay. These shortcuts are very, very commonly used, children. So please remember all these shortcuts. Jumping to the page number is the next topic. How to jump to the page number. Suppose your document has more than 100 or more than 200 pages and you want to jump to the 50th page to make some corrections. If you want to jump by scrolling, it will take a long time to reach at the 50th page or 100th page, isn't it? What I told you, suppose your document has many pages, more than 100, more than 200 pages, and if you want to reach at the particular page number, then by the scrolling it will take a long time. So how you will jump to the page number directly? I'll show you. The first is click on the page number available on the status bar. The Find and Replace dialog box opens with Go to tab. Third, enter the page number in which you want to move and click on OK. Fourth, you will reach on the page number entered. Okay. So first of all you have to click on the page number in the status bar, then a dialog box open. In that go to tab you will type the required page number and click on OK, and you will find yourself on that page number. Now this thing I will show you practically also. This is the Word document in front of you. Now you can see on the status bar page 1 of 11. In this document how many pages are there? There are total of 11 pages. Suppose you want to reach on the 6th page. Okay, how you will jump to the 6th page? What I told you, click on the status bar page number. You will click on the page number on the status bar. I told you, you need to click on the page number 1 of 11. That means this document has 11 pages. First you will click on this page number on the status bar. Then you can see a dialog box open with the go to tab. Okay, now go to what? Now page has been already selected. So enter page number. Suppose I select 6th. Now I will have to select go to. Close. Now you can see that you are on the 6th page. You can see on the status bar page 6 of 11. So I repeat the whole process one more time. If you want to go to the some particular page number, what you will need to do? You will click on the page number on the status bar. Then a dialog box open with the go to tab, and there you will type the required page number and then click on go to or OK. You will find yourself on that required page number. I hope it is clear, children. Our next topic is non-printing characters. What are non-printing characters? These are those characters that do not appear in a printed document. They are basically used for formatting the document. That's why they are also known as formatting characters. Okay, read one more time. Non-printing characters are those characters that do not appear in a printed document. They are generally used for formatting purposes. That's why they are also known as formatting characters. This is a very interesting topic. To show or hide non-printing characters, what you need to do? Click on Home tab. Click on the Show Hide button in the paragraph book. What I told you, first you need to click on the Home tab, then click on the Show Hide button, this button on the paragraph group. Let's see how to do it. Now this is the Word document in front of you. So first you need to click on the Home tab. You need to click on the Home tab. Then you want to find out the paragraph group. There are various groups under this tab. So you need to click on the paragraph group, this button. Okay. What you have to do? You have to click on the Home button, and there you need to click this Show Hide button in the paragraph group. Okay. Let's see what happens if I click on this Show Hide button. This is very interesting. See, the Word document has been changed. You can find there are some dots and some signs over it. Now what do these signs means? This dot means space. Okay. Whenever you print this document, a space will appear, but not these dots and not this sign. These signs have different meaning. Like this dot has meaning of space, and this button, this sign symbol has the meaning of paragraph spacing. Whenever a new paragraph has been created, this sign has appeared there. Okay, so every symbol has different meaning, but these symbols, these signs do not appear in the printed document. Now to make it disappear again, we need to click it again. We need to click this Show Hide button in the paragraph group again. Let's see what happens. If I click it again, you can see all the symbols have been disappeared. Isn't it very interesting, children? Now let's move to the another topic. Our next topic is checking spellings and grammar. you may experience there are some wavy lines. Whenever you type in your document, you may find some wavy lines. Now what are these wavy lines means in your document? So let's begin our next topic, checking spellings and grammar. A red wavy line signifies incorrectly spelled word. Whenever there is some spelling mistake, you may find a red wavy line. Second is a green wavy line indicates a grammatical error. If there is any grammatical error in your sentence, you may see a green wavy line. Third is a blue wavy line refers to a contextual error. Okay, whenever there is error in contextual manner, then you will see a blue wavy line. Let's read one more time. A red wavy line signifies incorrectly spelled word. It means whenever there is a spelling error, whenever there is some spelling error, you will see a red wavy line. Next, a green wavy line indicates a grammatical error, and the third is a blue wavy line refers to a contextual error. You can see a Word document in front of you. Now you can see some spelling mistake over there. India is my country. Now you can see that spelling of country is wrong. So there is a red wavy line underneath the word country. Okay. Now if you right click the word country, you will find the suggestions. You will find the possible suggestion and you can find the suggested word. Okay, if your country spelling is matches with the option given, then you can choose the current country word from there and the red wavy line has been disappeared. Now mixed, this is not a word, so it is again wrongly typed. So if I delete it, it will become make, and you can see the red wavy line has been disappeared again. He are a man. This is the blue wavy line, so it is a contextual error. So if you can find out that there is some grammatically or there is some contextual error. So he is a man. Now you can find out the wavy line has been disappeared again. I am a girl. It is again a spelling mistake or contextual error. So I am a girl. Now there are two spaces. So to remove that, if there is extra spaces given, again you will find some wavy line. Okay, if there are 2 or 3 spaces between a word, then you will again find some wavy lines underneath. So if I delete the extra space, you can find the wavy line has been disappeared. So this is the meaning of these wavy lines. Whenever there is some error, you will find the wavy lines. Now next I will want to show you what is thesaurus means. This is very important concept. Let's begin. Using thesaurus. Thesaurus is a built-in dictionary that enables you to look up synonyms, antonyms, word substitute, etc. This feature increases your writing abilities and vocabulary. How to use thesaurus? Select the word. First you need to select the word, then click on review tab. What you will do? First you will click the word. Okay. For what word you may want to find its synonym or antonym, you may want to substitute the word with another word, then you will click that word and after that you will click on review tab. Select the thesaurus command in the proofing group. Okay, so what are the steps? First you will click the word, then you will click on review tab. From there you will click on thesaurus command. The shortcut key is Shift plus F7. You can directly open the thesaurus command with the help of Shift plus F7. I'll show you how to use this thesaurus command. Now this is your Word document. Okay. Now suppose I want to expand, I want to use another word in place of small. So I select the word small. Then in the review tab, I will click review tab. Then here I can find the thesaurus command. So what I have done, first I have selected a word, Then I went to Review tab, and after that I clicked on Thesaurus command. Click on Thesaurus command. You can find here. Okay, but these are the options. Now small. Minor is the adjective, and these are the substitutes of the alternatives of the word small. Minor, unimportant, trivial, slight, insignificant, lesser. These are the synonyms of the word small. I hope you all have understood how to use the Thesaurus command. Isn't it very interesting? Now I want you all to do the practice of all the concepts what we have discussed. That's all for today's video lecture. Thank you and have a nice day.